When do you sell your offer? When do you do it? Do you do it after you create the offer, you make all the videos, you get it all edited, you create all this content, you make a podcast to talk about it, you make the sales page and the funnel, and now it's time to make your offer, except nobody is buying. Nobody cares. Nobody's listening. What in the world happened? Today I want to tell you why selling your offer before you even have your offer is the perfect time to start selling it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Macy, how on earth is that possible? How on earth is it possible to sell an offer that you haven't created yet? I'm going to tell you, and it's actually quite critical to the success of selling the offer, in my personal opinion. People don't buy the process, they buy the payoff. As long as you know what the payoff is going to be once someone works with you, you are good. You're good. In fact, I almost would rather you not have the process perfected. And I want to tell you why. Here's what people tend to do. They decide they want to create an offer. They decide they want to sell it for money. And then they go into this cave, this offer creation cave. And they're making the offer. They're writing the content. They're making the videos. They are writing the workbooks, the funnels, the sales page. And they never show their face to the light of day, ever. And they feel like they're working so hard and doing all the right things. But the problem is, like, they haven't even proven that the offer is something that people want to have. They haven't even proven that the offer gives a transformation. Why would you spend, the Lord knows how much time, putting so much energy and effort and time into creation when you don't even know if it is going to help people? What ends up happening is you spend so much time on this that you grow to almost have this relationship with your process. I know this sounds weird, but stay with me here. You start to fall in love with your program. And I will tell you, I have fallen into this 1,000,000%. My offer feels like my child. I love it so much. And I have to constantly detach myself from it, because when you love your offer, you end up talking about it. You talk about what you love. And you think that that's what people will love because you love it. It's like your kid. You are a mom. You know you love your kid so much. And other people don't love your kid quite as much as you do. It's just human nature. It's part of it. It's not a problem. But you think that they do. Okay? I like to think in my head that all of my kids, like adults in their life, they love them just as much as me, but it's just not possible. So really, to completely detaching yourself, taking the spotlight off of your offer, off of the process, off of you, to be honest, and putting the spotlight on to people and onto the payoff is what you want. So how do you do this? How do you get out of this offer creation cave and get into the focus of other people? And the answer, my friend, is to sell your offer. Because here's what's amazing about selling is you have to talk to people. I know you think you can hide behind the internet, but talking to people, communicating with people, having conversations with people is the very thing that helps you know what to say on the internet. Okay? And I'm going to give you a couple examples in just a second. But first, I want to just paint this picture. Let's say you just got a gorgeous meal from a chef. The chef delivers the meal. And as you're about to eat it, he's like, wait. I want to tell you exactly how I made this meal. He starts telling you about the time he spent roasting garlic, the way he seared the meat, where he bought all the ingredients, how he learned to cook. I mean, he spent a decade in Italy. And he wanted to tell you, and you're watching him and thinking, all I want to do is experience the payoff of this meal. Not even the meal itself, but what am I going to feel while I'm eating this meal? That's what people are buying. Is it going to feel so pleasurable and warm? Is he going to have this nostalgia rush over his body thinking about his grandmother because his grandmother made this meal? Is he going to be able to connect better with the person that he's eating with? That's why people buy a meal. Does he want the convenience, the ease? Does he want everyone to just enjoy it? And so it's just so much easier to have this type of meal because all his family there's so many different payoffs for so many different people. The payoff is all people are buying. That's it. That's it. And the process is irrelevant. And so when you start selling your offer and start selling the process and the steps that are in the offer, people look at you with their eyes glazed over. You know what I'm talking about. The lights are on, but nobody's home. My eyes are open, but something's not registering here, right? Because you have completely lost them. And I just want you to picture this for a second, okay? So let's say you don't have the perfect process and you know that you can help people with their energy management, okay? You know you can help them have a energy that they had before they've ever had kids, or like they were a single girl living in the city. And you're talking to someone about it and you're like, hey, there's a way that you can have this energy that you used to have when you were, 20 years old. Okay, they might say, oh, really? Tell me about the program. But they probably won't. What they likely will say, oh, that just feels impossible. I have 4 kids and their bedtime routine takes forever. And I feel like by the time I get downstairs and I clean the kitchen, it's just so late. I'm just always in this hamster wheel trying to manage my energy. Notice what this person said was about her, not about your offer. Okay. Now, what most people might do is they might say, oh, well, let me tell you about my program. It's a 5-step process, and step 1, you're going to learn this, and we have, calls every other week, and we talk on the phone, and you send me your food diaries. Am I losing you? Because I'm losing me, to be honest. So we don't say that. You start speaking on principles. So you might say something like, your body is actually made to be an energy management machine. And the best way to do that is to really start dialing in those hormones. It's so amazing because all you really need to do is manage a few things in your diet. And I would be willing to bet that you would have insane amount of energy in just a couple of weeks. And then it's like, really? Is that possible? You can help me do that? And then they might ask you about the process. They might, but they probably won't. And even if they do ask about the process, you just kind of have a general idea. Just have a general idea in your head and say, you know what, this is a 12-week process. And by the end of the 12 weeks, you will be unrecognizable. And then let's say they buy. They say, you know what, that sounds great. I'm giving it a try. Let me give you my money. Okay, now you have been paid to create. As you start getting on this creation process, because someone paid you and now you actually have someone to create with, I just want you to know you can adjust all along the way. I definitely don't recommend taking away stuff. So let's say you told someone it's a 12-week process. You definitely want to keep those 12 weeks. But let's say you want to add a grocery trip with them, like a shop beside you grocery trip. You can add that. That feels like an over delivery, and it's you being able to test a few things out. So what's really amazing about this process is that you actually learn what people need. I often hear people talk about an ask campaign and just say, hey, tell me in your dream world what you would like in this area, or what is your biggest challenge about this? And then people think, oh, this is how I create my offer. 100% you can do that. There's a quote from Henry Ford that said, if I were to have asked people what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. Like, people don't even know what they want. And so hypothetically, let's say you start working with someone for 12 weeks and you notice they don't know how to read labels, food labels. And so they're looking at the stuff, they're sending you pictures, and you're like, okay, there's definitely a better way. Let me teach this person how to fish versus giving her the fish. And so part of your offer starts to become, hey, I'm going to shop with you at the grocery store, but there's a low chance that someone might actually say that they desire that, but you would see that there's a gap and then you could offer that. So when you start to work with someone in that way, you develop an offer that's better than anything you could have ever imagined in your mind because you're getting real-time feedback. Another thing that's beautiful about this is you're getting paid to perfect. So there's going to be iterations of your offer all the time, but when you're actually working with someone, you'll know exactly how to perfect it. I notice a lot of people desire to just do this for free for the first time. They're like, hey, I have this idea of an offer. I really want to test it out. So can I test it with you for free? And you can do that. Like, I'm not going to stop you, of course. What I have found is that when people pay, they pay attention. And when they pay attention, they actually implement what you tell them to do. They have a little skin in the game. You cannot perfect an offer unless someone is actually doing what you tell them to do. So getting paid to perfect it, but also they are going to get such better results, such better transformation, and such a better payoff because they are actually implementing what you tell them to do. The third and final thing that's so powerful about creating alongside your client is you're going to have the chance to really deliver a proper payoff. You're going to get paid to deliver a payoff. So you're getting paid to learn, paid to perfect, and paid to deliver the payoff. And what do I mean by that? What's amazing about you is that when you're getting paid, you're suddenly kind of held to a standard, right? Someone is paying you money. And so you're like, wow, I really better deliver. And you will show up so much better and be so much more intentional about making sure someone gets a payoff, which is going to help ultimately your offer. And I'll give you a quick example. So I worked with somebody one time. She approached me and she said, hey, studies have shown that it's actually harder to listen to a woman's tone. It's harder to like resonate with that as a female speaker. And I was wondering if you would want coaching on how to really use your pitch and your tone to help people resonate with your content more. Instantly, I was like, what? That's incredible. I would love to do that. So we started to work together, and she did not have her offer created. She just stayed about a week ahead. And I could tell as we were working together, she was kind of creating the following week's content based on my questions and based on the experience she had coaching me with my voice. And now that offer is like an actual offer that she presents to people and offers, and it's so beautiful. But what's so cool is I noticed her insane intentionality of making sure that I get a payoff. I was her and my business partner, we did it together. So we were her only clients for this offer. She gave us insane attention. So if you're thinking, people won't want to work with me or pay me because it's not even created, I have no credibility, I have no testimonials, you get to tell them, hey, you are going to get the most attention that I'll probably ever be able to give somebody. It's like buying stock early in something. And a lot of times people love the idea of that. Like, I love the idea of being the biggest fish in your pond. So all you got to do is really frame this opportunity for people in a beautiful way, and it's going to make them want to be your very first client. So make sure you are selling your offer before you have it created so you can get paid to learn what the offer needs to be, paid to perfect the offer, and paid to deliver a beautiful, transformative payoff. If you want to learn how to sell your offer, no matter where you're at in the offer creation process, I cannot recommend enough to join the Sell Your Offer Challenge. We're going to learn so much of what I just talked about, like how to get the information you need to know exactly what to say to sell your payoff before you even have your offer. It is 5 transformative days. All the information is going to be in the description below, and I hope to see you there.